Hey folks, I'm Mr. Hartzler and I want to talk to you in this video about some stuff with spreadsheets. In particular, we're going to do what you see on the screen, average, mean, median, mode, range, and also just a little bit of general formula work. We're going to do some unit conversion within Google Sheets. Just use it as our calculator instead of having to do everything by hand. So you look at your screen, we're over on the left. The green is what was measured. Maybe we're measuring, I think in this case I wanted to do height of people. So we've got 5 feet and then some inches. And the blue column here, you see that we want to try and convert this from feet and inches to decimal feet. So to start off, I need an equation. So I'm going to have equals, and then I'm going to go and I can either click on or type in the cell I'm looking for. And that's going to be A2. And I want to add that to B2. But I need to change B2. If I want decimal feet, I have to convert those inches into feet. And I do that by dividing them by 12 or multiplying by 1 foot over 12 inches. And if I press enter, it now spits out my value, 5.9583333, repeating. We'll clean that up in a little bit. I could continue to do that, equals, and this time it's going to be A3 plus, and then I'm going to have B3 divided by 12, or I'm actually going to do this one, but I could do a little cheat sheet, or shortcut. There we go. If I'm in that cell, you see that little blue dot in the corner? Well, if I get really close to that, it turns into a little crosshairs, a little like plus sign. If I click on that and hold, I can drag it down, and it'll copy that formula, but if I go in to edit it by pressing enter or double clicking on that cell, you'll see that it is actually fixing it. So now it's A6, B6 in this particular example. I could do that another way. I can highlight by using shift and my arrow keys and highlight the whole thing, and then holding control and press D, and it copies that all the way down. But you'll notice some of them, this one 5.75, awesome, or 5.8333333, whatever. That's not obnoxious and annoying. So I'm going to click on this entire column, C here, and then I'm going to go up to the top, and you'll see these two different options. I have 0.0 with an arrow going to the left, and 0.00 with an arrow going to the right. Let's pick one of them. Doesn't really matter. If I click this one, I'm continuing to add decimal places. If I click the other one, I reduce decimal places. Let's go out to the thousandths place. That's nice. Right there. Now I need to go to centimeters. To go from centimeters, I need to take my decimal feet, and I'm going to multiply that by 12. So now I'm in inches. To go from inches to centimeters, I multiply again by 2.54. Now I'm in 181.61 centimeters. I'm going to drag that sucker down. You'll notice again, my decimals are a little bit off. I don't know, it's just not as clean compared to this other row where everything is the exact same number of characters. So I'm going to do the same thing for D. I'm going to increase my decimals until I'm out to the thousandths place. Now I need to go to meters. That's going to be equals the cell D2. That's the cell I want to work with. And to go from centimeters to meters, I divide by 100. I am going to hold shift, press enter, and that lets me go up. And I'm going to hold shift and go down. Control D, paste that formula everywhere. And I'm going to again do the same thing. I need to clean up these decimals out to the thousandths. Nice. Looks quite pretty. Now I need to find some information. I need to find the average, mean, same thing there. It just really depends on how fancy you want to be. And I could do that a couple of ways. Let's do it one way. How do I find average? Well, I add up all of my numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. That's actually really complicated. So I'm going to start typing in the word average, and then some things pop up. I have regular average. I have average with an A on the end, and it gives you a small description, numerical average value in a data set. I'm just going to click normal average right here. I could also have pressed tab. Now I can type in the information, or I can highlight it. So I can come up and say, well, highlight all of this information, and it puts that right in there for me. Or I could type it in. Awesome. Highlights that row. It kind of puts it in little dashed lines all the way around. The other way of doing that, let's do that. And we're going to hit equals. And I'm going to hit sum. I'm going to add up all my numbers from E2 to E22. Because I want to add up all of those numbers. And then I divide by my number of numbers. So that's count from E2 colon to E22. So the sum part is adding them all up. The count part is going to count how many numbers are here, and then it's going to divide by that. Enter. Awesome. I get the same number, except this one, a little bit more cleaned up. And awesome. One more way of doing that. Median. The median is, what is the median? Well, that is the middle number. So I can type equal median, press enter or tab, both of them work. And I can then go and say from E2 to E22, press enter, and I have my median. I could do this in another way. I could highlight that row. Actually, I'm going to highlight all of this table, including the headers. I'm going to hit this filter button. And now I can sort these, smallest to largest. The reason I did the entire thing was so when I sort meters, all of the other stuff to the left of it follows with it. Otherwise, it would just be meters and everything else wouldn't mean anything. They wouldn't be linked together anymore. So I can sort this, and I can count 2 on that side, 2 on this side, 2 more, 2 more. Keep counting in until I find the middle, or I can just find it using math and the spreadsheet, which is way cooler. So I'm going to undo that part, undo that I filtered it. You can also do that with Control Z. Now let's find the mode. What is the mode? Well, that's the most often. So equals, there we go, mode. And I'm going from, let's click on it this time. Highlight it, snap, enter, 1.651. Awesome. Range equal, and this one gets everybody every time. There's no range. Can't do it. It's a binomial distribution range. I don't want that one. So what I actually have to do is equal max number for E2 to E22. Then I need to subtract the minimum number from E2 to E22. Because that's what range is. It's the maximum number minus the minimum number. So if I do that, awesome. It's going to tell me what my range is. Enter. That's my range. Sweet, right? Good. That's what I wanted. And I could do a little bit of other things in here. The nice thing is, let's take this top number. Right now it's 1.816. Somebody, instead of being 5 feet and 11.5 inches, well, they say, you know what, Mr. Hartzler, I'm actually 6 feet. I change that. Changes this number. Changes these numbers. It's just ever so slightly, though, because it wasn't a big change. But let's say now that he's, or she is 6 feet and 30 inches. Well, now that becomes statistically significant. There we go. And that starts to change our data a little bit. So I can continue to do that all over the place here. Change that one to 6 feet and 1,000 inches. That's obnoxious. But it changes my data. Except median, actually. And mode. Because it doesn't change how often those things happen. But it does change my average. And it changes my range. And that is an important thing to notice. Because if I just link all these cells, everything else is going to populate. It's all going to correct itself as it works its way through. Because I'm not linking to a number. I didn't type in a specific number as if I used the calculator where I had equal 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 or whatever. Instead, I'm linking it to cells. So if those cells change, if that 5 is now a 6, it recognizes that and carries that through. And that's the awesome thing about spreadsheets. So these are just some simple things we're going to do. But we're going to continue to do more complicated things as class goes on, where we start finding standard deviation and other things. But we'll start off by finding standard deviation. We're going to do some graphs. It's going to be great. Hopefully, I make more videos on that because hopefully you are interested in that. If you are, hit that like button down below so I know that you like this video. And subscribe, and you'll get to see more of these videos. And I'll also feel slightly better about myself because we all know social media impacts us deep on the inside. Hope you all have a great day and use spreadsheets carefully and with enthusiasm. Bye, everybody.